YouTube! What's up, y'all? It's KIAREY. If you don't know who I am, my name is KIAREY Love. I'm currently documenting my journey to becoming a millionaire trader. And when I'm a millionaire, y'all still gonna be here. So, today, I think this is a very important topic. The biggest thing about becoming a profitable trader is understanding where you are going wrong and what affected you and what humps you need to get over to become a profitable trader. If you are in a place where you just completely don't understand what you're doing wrong, typically that's going to fuck you up. You need to understand what is going on with your trading, what is going on with the mistakes that you're making. You need to understand your strategy. You need to understand your risk management. You need to have this stuff down like a business. I know everybody says the same thing, but they're saying the same thing for a reason, because it's true. I just wanted to come here and talk to you guys about what I did wrong and the things that were a challenge for me to get over, and kind of break those things down and maybe go over things that you could potentially be doing wrong. So yeah. But so one of the biggest things that I did wrong, if you guys have been watching this video, if you guys have been watching this channel since I first started documenting the journey, the biggest thing that I used to do wrong was fucking getting out of my trades so quick. Like, I used to get out of my trades as soon as I was in profit a certain number, because I wasn't used to seeing the fluctuation. I wasn't used to taking winning trades. So once I got a strategy that worked, once I understand the risk management, and I knew how to calculate my risk, for some reason, I wasn't okay with the fluctuation in P&L. So if I would be up $800 and I would go back down to break even, and then I would be back up $800, I would take out at $800 because it would fuck me up that dang. What if it goes back down to zero again, or even stops me out? And I wasn't focusing on the plan, the long-term plan, which is what most people do. I just wasn't focusing on the long-term plan. I wanted to win every single trade that I took, and I wanted to get out as soon as quick possible and not focus on getting my risk to rewards hit. The biggest piece of advice that I can give to somebody is to make sure they are calculating their risk and always making sure that their losers are smaller than their winners. I never made sure that my losers were always bigger than my winners. Even if I would win more often, my losers were always bigger, because I would let it hit stop loss, but I wouldn't want to wait till it hit TP. I would let it hit stop loss and even kind of give it a little breathing room, even move my stop loss down and hope and pray, and not do the same thing when it comes to letting it hit TP. And once I recognized that, it was like, okay, it's either going to hit TP or stop loss. And once I started realizing either TP or stop loss, I allowed myself to let it hit TP or stop loss. Another issue I had was FOMOing into the trade, jumping into the trade extremely early, just being super eager to be like, yep, let me hop in, let me make sure I'm in the trade. Even as soon as it starts to look like it's setting up, or even if sometimes I would hop in, if there's a big ass candle going in one direction, I would hop in. And that's a common error that a lot of people have, is just wanting to go the same direction that the market is going. And sometimes the market is reversing to go back the opposite direction. And I used to not understand that. I used to just want to hop in with whatever the momentum was going with in that moment, and take a lot of losses doing that. I really recognized the most thing that I did the worst was just being random, not journaling my trades, not having a system of what's going on with the trades that I'm taking, just not understanding what the fuck I had going on. And once I started understanding what was to my trading and where, having to take the 1 to 2 risk to reward like that, I'm gonna keep saying that and I'll die on that hill. You need to make sure your winners are bigger than your losers. That way, if your winners are 2 times bigger than your losers, you will make money with a 50% win rate. If your winners are 3 times bigger, you can even make money as low as a 30% win rate. So then when you're holding your trades all the way through and you're making sure you're managing your risk correctly, when you make money, you're making way more money than what you lost on the trades. So that's kind of just my 2 cents on the things that I did wrong. I didn't really do anything outside of the biggest issue was just holding those trades. But some other issues people have is wanting to get in too much of a too many contracts, too many lots, or just putting on too much risk. A lot of people love to get into trades and bloat their account because they want to see the fluctuation. They want to see big fluctuations. They compare themselves to other people that are already been trading for 7 years and profitable for 4 of those 7 years, and they want to make the same amount of money that those people are making, when you have to realize that there's levels to trading. There's growth that needs to happen, and people want to make $1 million overnight. So an issue that you could be making is hopping into trades way quicker than you need to, or not even just way quicker than you need to, but hopping in with a big issue is hopping to trades with too much risk. Like I said before, another issue is hopping into trades before it's giving you the ability to hop into a trade. Like, you have a system, but you're hopping into a random trade just because. Another issue people have is not having a strategy or a system, just kind of being willy-nilly scalping and doing weird other random stuff that's just random and pretty much gambling. If you don't have a system and you don't have a numbers game set up and a plan, you're not trading, you're gambling. So a lot of people come to the charts and they gamble, and they expect to say that they're trading, and they expect that they're winning. Another issue a lot of people have is overcomplicating their system. So they need a million confluences to get in, and they hesitate to get into the trades. So by the time the trade leaves you, you need so much confirmation that you're exposing yourself to too much risk. Not managing your risk is a huge one that people do, just kind of willy-nilly trading a contract size or a lot size or whatever you trade, and whatever positions you trade, whatever instrument you trade through, however you manage your risk. A lot of people like to not know what their risk is and not have a plan for trading. The biggest issue that people like to have is just not having a plan, not understanding what they're doing. And then a big issue people have is having a plan and not sticking to your plan. So some advice I'll give you is, if you don't have a plan, you need a risk management plan. You need a freaking strategy, and really, that's really all you need. But there's other plans. You can have a risk plan for the day. You can have a risk plan for the week. You can have just different parameters. Just mapping yourself out and preparing. They say in almost everything, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And so just make sure you make a plan for all components that you can think about making a plan for. But yeah, I don't even know what I was just saying. Fuck, I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, so just have a plan. Oh yeah, I was saying, so if you don't have a plan, make sure you have a plan, create a plan. And if you do have a plan, it's as simple as following that plan. And I know it's easier said than done. I made a video yesterday or not even yesterday, I don't know. I made a video a little bit ago, so I don't know when it's out. But I made a video talking about controlling your other side of yourself, quote unquote. So go understand what that means. I'll probably link it either right here or somewhere. But yeah, just make sure you guys have a plan. If you have a plan, follow your plan. If you have a plan, make sure that it is a good, back-tested plan that works, that mathematically makes sense. If you don't, get a mentor. I'm starting mentorship classes. I'm about to start my course soon. So you guys are going to get that coming soon. But yeah, just consume as much information as you can. Don't just trade willy-nilly. But yeah, if you're watching this point of the video, make sure you're getting 1% better every day. Make sure you're operating out of the motto, because there's never an excuse or a reason as to why you are not doing at least one thing to get one step closer to your dreams, your goals, and your motherfucking aspirations, bruh. It has been KIAREY Love, and I am out, gangsta. Peace, gangsta. Peace, gangsta.